dinner party a few weeks ago, and there was somebody there who was thinking about starting their home search. And then, of course, they brought up the whole situation with the NAR lawsuit that's been kind of looming over the entire real estate industry. And they asked me a ton of questions about it. And the thing is, I still don't know what's going to happen with everything. It seems like there's some speculation saying that like realtors for buyers are going to go away, or like realtors for buyers are not going to get paid, or they don't know. There's just a lot of things up in the air. And then that conversation led to the same person asking why it's important to work with a realtor. And I had to think about this only because I haven't had to, I guess, articulate my value in that way in a very long time. And it actually made me think. And I figured this would be a good video topic because so many people are buying homes, whether you're a first-time home buyer or not a first-time home buyer. And I think the majority of home buyers and sellers prefer to use a realtor. There are a couple outliers, of course, who are super experienced and feel very confident doing the entire thing on their own. And that's fine. Great. Good for you. More power to you. There's still a large demographic that needs support and help and guidance through the whole thing. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, why it's important to use a realtor when you are buying a home. If you think this video is helpful, leave a comment and like this video. Also, if you think it might be helpful to do a video like this for home sellers, so why it's important to use a realtor when you're selling your home, leave a comment and let me know. I'd be happy to do that for you as well. Hey guys, I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor here in Austin, Texas, and I work with people that are relocating to Austin from other parts of the country and other parts of the world, even all the time. If you're thinking about making a move, contact me. My contact information is in the description below. You can also set up a direct one-on-one video call with me. So with that, let's begin. First reason that I think it is very helpful for home buyers to work with a realtor when they are in a home search. We as realtors help our home buyers learn an area. As far as things to do there, amenities, and like long-term projections for different neighborhoods. Whenever I'm showing a home to a home buyer, whether they are a first-time home buyer or not, or whether they're relocating to Austin or they live here already, I try to go over all the stuff that is going around and developing in the neighborhood. So many of my clients that are buying homes in Austin are looking at this, of course, as a home, but also as an investment. A lot of people are going to be selling their home in 5 to 10 years, and they want to know what's going on around so they can have an idea if there's going to be a strong market for them once they want to sell. I also have clients that go in to buy their home with the goal of it ultimately being a rental. So they'll go in, live in the home for a couple years, but they want to make sure that they're going to be in a very rentable area. So then we're looking at things like how many employers are nearby. Again, what is it close to? All that kind of stuff. I personally own investment property, and I've been very lucky, and I would say mostly strategic, in setting up my property investments. All the property that I have has gone up in value significantly, of course, because there was a boom, but also because they're in areas that are up and coming and really, really popular. So every time that I meet with a client that's new to an area, whether they actually are very investment minded or not, I try to go in with the same idea because I want to make sure that they're going to be as safe as possible with this investment, if you will. I know that was a very long answer, but I think it's important to look at this from several different angles. Number 2, as realtors, we help you learn the market and compare numbers. I think as a home buyer, when you are looking online, whether it be Zillow or Realtor.com, and you're looking at homes, you just by default kind of learn what's going on in the market. And even then, I have clients that are constantly on the realtor apps looking at homes that are available, but they always ask me. For instance, they'll see a home that they really like, that they think is a good deal, and they'll send me information. They'll be like, hey, is this actually a good deal? And I can confirm yes or no. Most of the time they are right, but what we do is we'll send comparable homes in the area so that they can actually compare and see where it falls in the neighborhoods. Let's say we're looking at a neighborhood like Riverview, which is located in West Austin, just north of Steiner Ranch. Let's say they're looking at a home that's, I'm just throwing out numbers, like $800,000, and all the other homes around it are going for like $950,000 or $1 million. Then we would look at comparable homes and see where does this fall in the neighborhood, and then we could see that it's priced like at the bottom, right? So it's like, yes, it's a good deal, maybe depending on what condition it's on. There's a lot of nuance to that. We as realtors, and I for sure, really want to make sure that my client completely understands the value that they're getting in the home, if that's what they're after. Number 3, of course, negotiations. Contract negotiation can get very detailed. There's a lot of nitty-gritty that goes into it, and literally every situation is different. Right now, we are very much in a buyer's market, which means buyers have most of the power. And that can mean different things for different homes and different home buyers. For instance, if I have a client that's interested in a home that's been on the market for 6 months and in generally good condition, they want to make an offer, it's my job as a realtor to gather as much information that I can about the selling party and that home to see what kind of offer and what kind of terms make sense. It's not just price. There's a lot of other things that come along with it. Maybe we're asking the seller to replace a roof. Maybe we are asking the seller to cover all of your closing costs. Maybe the seller needs a lease back, which means we would close on the home and then they would lease it back from the new owners for like a couple of weeks, maybe a month. Who knows? Each situation is very different. As realtors, it is our job to be an advocate and literally have your best interest at heart so that you are protected and we avoid any and all issues. Number 4, help avoid expensive pitfalls with a home in the future in understanding an inspection. So because I work with a lot of clients that are relocating from out of state, a lot of times when I go through a home with them in Austin, I point out things that are very like Texas specific that you might not necessarily have to deal with in like the north or the west or the east or wherever. When I'm looking at a home with a client and they're giving me signs that they really like it, I'll go through and I'll try to point out the main things that could potentially stand out as being a problem or something that could potentially come up in an inspection. For example, if the home is older and it's located like on the east side of town, we always want to see if we can spot any signs of the foundation shifting. That's something that tends to happen in Texas, primarily on the east side of Austin. It can happen literally anywhere, and there's things that we look out for. I also like to look for the age of the AC, the water heater. I'm not a roofer, but sometimes I can tell when a new roof is going to be needed. Also, like I mentioned, if the home is older and I feel comfortable enough, I'll pop open the main panel to see if the electric has been updated or not. I'm also not an electrician, but I've remodeled enough homes to know what an old electric panel looks like versus a new one. And then if it is a newer one, we want to ask for paperwork to make sure that it was done correctly, and then we have an inspection down the line. When we get the inspection report, it's also our job as realtors to make sure that you actually understand what you're looking at. Honestly, an inspection report can be intimidating if you've never seen one, or if maybe you haven't seen one in a long time, or if you've never seen one in Texas. So it's our job to help explain what the main takeaways are from the inspection report. And if there's anything major that needs to be addressed, we as realtors negotiate that with the selling party to make sure that you are taken care of. There's been instances though where there's a big repair that needs to be done and the seller won't do it. And I've actually advised my clients to walk away from a home because it could, 1, be expensive for them down the line, and 2, it could actually cause issues with other portions of the home. So I've had several instances where I'll tell clients to walk away, and they do. Number 5, we as realtors have a team of people that are in place to make sure that your home purchase is as easy as it can be and make sure that you fully understand what's going on. Moving is super, super stressful. It sucks. I hate it. And I think a lot of times buying a home for people can be very stressful as well. So you've got these 2 kind of major life events going. And I'd like to think that I have a group of people in place that are going to help streamline that process. I've got some really awesome lenders who've helped tons of my clients in the past, and they have an excellent track record. And those lenders sit down with you as the buyer to make sure you understand all of your options and understand exactly what you're getting into, so to speak. I've got wonderful inspectors that are ready to go almost immediately. If something is needed on top of the inspection, let's say there's a leak somewhere, I've got a couple of really wonderful plumbers. Let's say something comes up in the inspection, something's up with the foundation, we've got foundation people in place ready to go to take a look. So then that way you can have peace of mind and can know pretty quickly whether you're going to be moving forward with this home or not. I also mentioned that I've remodeled homes and I have contractors and handymen and people that can help with projects that you might want to do to the home in the future. Landscapers, cleaners, you name it, the list goes on and on. But like I said, I like to think that I have a pretty solid team in place to make sure that your home purchase and buying process is as streamlined and stress-free as it can be. Doesn't mean there won't be any stress, but we try to minimize it. Number 6, we as realtors can offer an objective point of view during a sometimes emotional time. I think a lot of times when you find your dream home and you get so excited about the possibilities of the future and what it is and whether you're going to get it or whether not to get it, there's a lot of emotion that comes into that. And it is super important to have somebody that's completely grounded in reality and can tell you things exactly as they are. For instance, in the beginning of 2022, where homes were going for like $100,000, $200,000 over the asking price, I had a couple clients that wanted to buy particular homes and they were just over the moon, like, oh, this house is so wonderful, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get that. But they had told me at the very beginning, we want something that's going to be a smart investment regardless of what happens. We want to make sure we come out ahead whether we sell this house in 5 or 7 years. So I remember this one particular conversation I had with this client. They were wanting to buy this really beautiful home and it checked off a lot of boxes for them. month. But there were like literally a dozen offers on the house, and we would have had to go over $200,000 to get it. And even though they had the means to do it and they were ready to go, I told them, I really want you to stop and think before we get too excited. Because right now what we're thinking about is the competition and the other buyers that are also going for this home. And I don't want you to approach this particular home purchase from scarcity point of view, because at that time we had almost no inventory. But I knew that that particular neighborhood was not going to hold its value the way that a couple other neighborhoods would in the near future. Because I think we all saw that there was going to be some sort of dip in the economy. I told them, I said, look, I'll do whatever you want to do. If you want to buy this house, okay. But I don't feel confident as a professional, and even just somebody that cares about you guys, recommending that you move forward with this purchase, because I don't think it's going to hold its value if or when the economy levels out. And they actually listened to me. They would have had to go over by $220,000 to buy that home, and that home actually ended up dropping in price about 90 grand between early 2023 and now like mid 2024. All of that to say, I'm gonna toot my own horn, but there I was as a realtor, grounded in reality. I was there to remind them about the original conversation that we had had about how they wanted to spend their money wisely and didn't want to purchase a depreciating asset, which is what ultimately that home would have become. Ultimately, they found something that wasn't quite as perfect, but in a really wonderful neighborhood with highly rated schools and a home that they've been making their own over the last 2 years. It's actually maintained its value, if not gone up just a tiny smidge, not a lot because our economy is wonky right now, but I can see that neighborhood holding its value and continuing to go up once our economy comes back around, if you will. Anyway, you guys, I feel like I talked a whole bunch in this video, because I did talk a whole bunch in this video. But if you have questions about the home buying process or maybe the home selling process, please leave a comment. I really do like interacting with you guys in the comment section. And that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor. Till next time.